Now, there's one section we haven't talked about yet, and it's the section that is, and I'm going to show you this in a second. Disclaimer: I haven't played Rivera's pedals myself. I've seen a couple in preparation to this podcast. I've seen a couple of demos, and they like just the sonic impression is they sound great.
Okay.
But take a look at that. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the visual aspect, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
So what do we have? We have the 3D Shaman chorus vibrato. First of all, I definitely give them credit for the enclosures, because they don't just buy enclosures off the shelf like the typical Hammond enclosures. These seem to be made especially for them. And what I also give them credit for is if you look at it closely, you see that this where the switches are is actually a little bit elevated, so you won't be able to accidentally hit the knobs at the same time. You know?
Yeah. So it's staggered. So the foot switch is slightly higher than the knob, which are recessed just a bit deeper in.
Yeah. So it's a little bit higher. So that means you're going to hit the knob, but you won't be, hitting. You're going to hit the foot switch. You're not going to hit one of the knobs.
Yeah, because you got almost like an inch clearing.
Yeah.
From the top of the foot switch to the knobs.
Exactly. So, and then, input, output, you have some interesting things. You have like a wet right and a wet left. So this would be, determined to be in a dry, wet sort of setup, which is great. So we have I give them credit for that. Then we have the acoustic Shaman chorus, kind of an acoustic version, adapted for acoustics. We have the blues Shaman, which great, but I think this thing is way too big for just a couple of knobs. I think I understand why they wanted to keep it consistent with the enclosures, but you could make this thing a lot. You could actually cut this in half and also have like 2 foot switches on there. It seems to be very big for a pedal that is essentially some sort of like blues overdrive with an additional, what is it? A gain boost. Yeah, some sort of gain boost. Yeah, I think, and what do we have here? The double Shaman. So that's essentially 2 of these in one enclosure. Again, looks great, but there's a lot of space there that I don't think is really necessary.
Yeah, there's a lot of wasted real estate for sure.
Yeah. Then we have the metal Shaman, where I'm liking the visual aspect a little bit more than with the others. So this one looks nicer to me.
It's got like a Aztec kind of sun. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the metal Shaman. And then we have the sustain Shaman, which obviously is some sort of compressor with blend capability and true bypass. So yeah, all very nice, but again, the visual aspect and some of that, as you said, real estate that's there, makes me think that as great as these pedals are, there is, at least to me, there's room for improvement. The visual thing is obviously a question of taste. People like it, people don't like it. But the real estate thing, I think these things are very huge for what they are. I don't know how much they cost. Let's see if we can.
Are these still available?
Apparently, they wouldn't be on the website if they were not.
Okay, so it's not part of the legacy. It's still
no. That's
okay.
They're not. So let's see what
I'm just curious to see what they look like if you put them all on a pedal board together.
They would look fun though if you put them on. But
I think they would.
But that would also be kind of a big pedal board, if you look at all the. So I don't find that much. I find one thing here. That's a German seller. 186 euros. That's actually okay. But it's already reduced. So regular price was 220. Okay. What else? Yeah, they don't seem to have many people selling those. Rocket Music.
I had you mentioned it, but I had never even heard of the Rivera pedals.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Rivera is known for their amps.
Yeah.
And not for their pedals. But I think in order to be relevant, they maybe thought about, okay, let's throw in a couple of pedals so we can, I don't know, we can be part of the market, part of the movement. I'm not sure what the intention behind it was, but and I see that they put a lot of work into this. I'm not discrediting any of that. It's just to my personal taste. I look at that. I'm not super excited about the visual aspect, and I'm not super excited about how much space these things are taking on my pedal board for the options that they bring to the table. That's just my
options. Yeah. And there's also the quality of the build. There's the quality of the sound you're getting, and the reliability factor too. Because just going off of the short experience I have with Rivera, they seem to be making gear that's tailored towards the gigging musicians. So that means the foot switch has to be able to take a beating. The knobs have to be reliable. The pedal overall has to be functional, but long term. So for the price range, I would expect something like this to probably be really good, if not stellar. So for me, like as a consumer, if I bought something like that and I found my sound, like I was like, holy shit, let's say the Blues Shaman is like fucking killer. Like that's the sound. Then I would find some kind of way to integrate all the other pedals with it on a pedal board. But if this is going to be like one of those things where you stick it in, you try and see if it works with your rig, and then you plop it out and put another pedal in, maybe the size factor is going to be an issue, because it looks from the design that I'm seeing that these were meant to be like an ecosystem. They're made to work together. So you would have like a pedal board filled with their stuff, and they stack perfectly together. They're all top mounted jacks too, so they don't take up too much space that way. But I'd be curious to try them out, because I that's what I do on my channel, is like pedals and pedals and pedals. I didn't even know they made pedals, so now I might have to like ring them up and say, hey guys, I'm really interested in trying out your pedals, so what do you recommend?
And also, what I've noticed just now is this website definitely needs a revamp, because if you look at Facebook, okay, YouTube, okay, Instagram, okay, but Google Plus is dead for like 4 years, so I'm not sure where this link would go, and Twitter is now X, so